Welcome back to another episode of Sportswrap Sit-Downs. I'm your host, James Catato, and joining me sitting down for a conversation today, the head coach of the William & Mary women's basketball team, off the back of, you could argue, one of, if not the most historic mid-major runs that a program has ever had. 3 nationally televised games, the most in program history last season. 4 wins in 4 days. Conference champs for the first time in program history. That beautiful banner in the background. Yes. Chi-Town, stand up.
Yes.
Coach E, Erin Dickerson Davis, how are you?
I'm great. We are in the thick of things right now, so it's a little overwhelming, but all is well. I'm just so happy to be starting a new season.
So, do you get tired of, because it is a new group, you know? So, I watched the CAA Media Day 4 weeks ago, and a lot of the questions were about the run, right? I know the run was historic, you know, but is it now, okay, we can stop talking about the run and we can focus on this? Yeah,
you know, it's this really weird, I guess, dichotomy, right? Because on one hand, like, everybody is so happy and proud, and you have to be able to give people, fans, family, the tribe community, the emotion that they want to feel about what we did. On the other hand, you have to move on and get ready for the next season. So it has been kind of weird. It's like, okay, like, yeah, this is so exciting. But I think once the banner ceremony happened and we got our rings and we saw the banners unveiled, I think that was kind of closure for us as a group. We celebrated. Most of our team came back. The only person that couldn't come was Bella Nascimento, who is in Portugal right now playing. But everybody else was here, and so to be able to see everyone celebrate one last time is exactly the exclamation point at the end of last season.
Was it weird not having Bella here?
Yeah, but her parents were here, and they accepted her ring on her behalf, and so it just felt like old times. Her parents came to every single game that we had, so it was great that they were able to make it, and I know that she'll be back once her season is over, and she wants us to hold her ring until she gets back in the States, and she's going to come get it herself.
So the banner ceremony means so much because it's the first banner that either basketball program has ever put up for a conference championship. Did it feel, I know obviously it felt real when you won the conference championship, but what was the feeling, if it was different at all, when you actually saw it go up and you got the rings?
I think when the banners were unveiled, that was when it really hit home for me. When you win it, you're just trying to be in the moment. You're not thinking about how big of a deal this is. You're just like, this is so much fun, this is exciting, I can't believe what we've done. And that kind of stayed. Even when we were designing the rings, it was like, wow, this is so cool. When the rings got here, I was excited, but I'm like, the players are gonna love these. Like, they look so good. But it still wasn't real to me until we saw the banners. And that's when I felt like this wave of emotion. I was just like, I didn't know that would impact me in the way that it did. But to see them both was just like, I told my team, I'm like, this is gonna be here way after you're gone, right? Like, you are literally etched into the history book. So the banners were definitely the coolest, probably most important part of it for me.
And, you know, being a team that lost 7 of your last 8 going into CAA tournament play, I was at the game you guys had against Hampton where I think it went to overtime, and you guys etched that one out. But there was, you know, I think Cassidy said it at one point. You know, she said there was a lot that you guys left on the table in the regular season. But you always said that going into the CAA tournament, this team never had any doubt that it could be competitive with the best. You knock off the 1 seed en route to the CAA tournament championship. So when you look at 7 of your last 8, right, go in as a low seed, what is kind of like looking back on it now, your vibe, the vibe in the locker room?
Yeah, it was trying to stay in the moment and not think about what had happened prior to that moment. The coolest thing, and some backstory that I hope my kids don't mind me sharing, but what I learned was before the CAA tournament, they all got together as a team on their own, and they did a bonfire at one of our players' apartments. And they visualized and talked about what was going to happen when they made it to DC. And it was the coolest thing. We didn't know until it was over. And they were like, yeah, like we said we were going to play this song on the bus after we win. We said that we were going to do this and do this dance and play these songs in the locker room. And for them to get together on their own to visualize that moment and then come out and execute it, the only thing we had to do was help prepare them the best way that we could. But they were going to take it from there. So it was a testament to, I guess, our leadership, but also just the belief that the team had in each other, knowing that we should have never lost 7 of our last 8 games. You know, like we let one thing derail us, and instead of just picking ourselves back up and putting the pieces back together, we just allowed it to continue for way too long. And so to see that level of resilience, which is one of our core values here, it was just, it was the coolest thing of my coaching career to see, for sure.
For sure. You know, Bella in particular, right? She goes on the tear that she goes on, wins the most outstanding player of the tournament. And I feel like so much happened for her in particular, right? Getting the nod to go play with Brazil. And then I feel like one of the first times you turn on the TV and it's so casual, she's just guarding Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
Right? Like when that happens, do you call her and you go, yeah, the past like 4 months have just been insane for you? Like, what were those conversations like with her?
So we actually went, Kania Cole and I, my assistant, we went to LSU to watch her play against the Chicago Sky and Angel Reese. It was the easier one of the two to get to, which who knew Louisiana would be easier to get to than Iowa, but regardless. So we were able to get there and watch her play, and I remember she was so nervous. And I said, you literally have nothing to lose here. Like, you're living out your dreams. And I'm like, don't allow these days to go by. You're consumed in your nervousness and your fear. Like, you may never get this opportunity again. You're playing against WNBA players. Like, what's the worst that could happen? Like, have fun. And I remember saying that to her after the game at LSU, and then she goes into Iowa, and I text her before the game, and I'm like, hey, you're about to play against Caitlin Clark in front of 20,000 people in a sold-out arena. Like, play. Like, have fun and do what you do. And then to watch it and to see her, like, making a 3 over Caitlin Clark, I think I, like, videoed it and sent it to her. And I'm like, this is your dreams coming true in real time. And so to watch what she's been able to do, Brazilian national team was her dream. To be able to play with them, have a great showing in the AmeriCup. It was so fun to watch. And then she got to play in Canada. She got to now play in Portugal. And so the transition to being a pro is very difficult, but she has taken it head on, and she is literally doing everything she set out to do.
And she was obviously the catalyst during that tournament run for you guys. And I think that, you know, one of the things I said on air after the Texas game was, you know, this was so much more than just basketball, right? This was a community, second oldest college in the United States, 105 years. This was an alumni base who, a lot of them may not have even been in athletics when they were at William & Mary, that were, you know, for lack of a better term, like starving to see success. And that visual of you getting off the bus and you getting showered with roses and all this and signs, and there's hundreds of people there. You know, you're from the Midwest. You find yourself in Hampton Roads, Virginia, right? What was just that entire atmosphere like, looking back on it now?
I think when I was in the moment, all I could think about was our players and the opportunity to do something like this. Like, I never got this as a player, right? I didn't win a championship. Like, this is something that's so rare. It's not easy to do. So at that time, I could only think about how cool this was, that our girls are going to be able to have this memory for the rest of their life. When I had a chance to really sit down and reflect, I could not believe that this girl from Chicago who didn't even like basketball, my dad played it, like literally, he still plays right now. I only played because my friends wanted me to play. And I was like, I guess I'll play basketball. Like, I wanted nothing to do with it. And like literally just like that, fell in love with it. And I had no idea where basketball could take me. Like, I remember in 8th grade saying, I can play basketball in high school. And then I was like, oh my God, I got a letter from a college. Like, I could play it in college. Like, I had no idea. I just loved the game. I didn't know what it would do for my life. And then to be in this situation and people reaching out and hugging me, and we got back and people were crying. And that was just so surreal to me that this little girl that started playing basketball in 5th grade could have this kind of life just because of basketball. So it was just really tough to kind of put into words, but just an amazing feeling.
I always wanted a high-paying career, but I didn't want to be stuck at a desk. In just 4 months, Tidewater Community College taught me how to drive a truck. The pay is great, and I have the independence I've always wanted. They helped me with financial aid and showed me how to enroll. TCC even helped me find a job. Now I'm on my way. Tidewater Community College. From here, go anywhere.
What do you think a childhood version of yourself that didn't even like the game would say to you now?
Oh, she would have seen me on CBS or ESPN and been like, oh, what? Like, just never would have been able to even visualize that. Like, you watch TV, you watch ESPN. Like, I grew up in Chicago, like during the 90s, you're watching Michael Jordan, on TV. And to know that, like, I get to be one of those people that these young girls that want to coach basketball, that doesn't know how far basketball can take them, that I can be someone for them to look up to, but to mentor them. Like, you can ask anybody. I am an open book. Transparency is like my #1 core value, like, in my life. And I want people to know that you can do amazing things, that no matter the doubt you have for yourself, the doubt that people may have, that you can do it. Like, you can do such extraordinary things, and just to never give up on what it is you want to do. And that's something that I almost did twice. I almost gave up on coaching 2 times within my career just because I didn't feel that it was the space I was supposed to be in. And to not give up on that, to not let others push me out of it, I mean, now we're here. And if that's not a testimony to never quitting, then I don't know what is.
I think you told me off camera after the CAA tournament last year, so I'm going to be putting you on blast here. Is it true that you only brought 1 change of clothes to the CAA tournament last year?
Yes. One thing that I told my players was the only thing that matters is 1 game. And so I said, I don't even know who we play after Hofstra. You know, like, it doesn't even matter who we play after that. We're going to play, we have 1 game. And then after that, my husband brought me clothes, and he's like, I'm going to bring you the clothes for the rest of the week. And I said, no, I need clothes for 1 game.
Day at a time.
That's it. Like, just bring me 1 thing. He brought me stuff in his car. He just wouldn't give it to me. But I was like, no, 1 day at a time. The same thing happened when we went to Texas. I brought 1 outfit. And I was like, all I want is just, we have 1 game. That's against High Point. Yeah. I don't care who we play after that. We have 1 game right now. And so it was really fun getting to go shopping the next day. And my husband actually got, like, T-shirts made, and I know I got a lot of messages and DMs about the T-shirts that we made. But he had someone create a graphic that we use to work with our recruiting graphics here. And she sent it to him. He goes to the mall, gets them printed on T-shirts, and that's what I wore for the game against Texas. So I think in my brain, I didn't want to look too far ahead. I didn't want to put pressure on myself or on the players. I just wanted us to focus 1 game at a time. Yeah. And that's nerve-wracking because I didn't know what I was going to wear from day to day. But it just kept me very tunnel vision in being in the present and being in the now.
You know, you've been an assistant at really high-level schools, right? Like Wake Forest, Georgetown, like you played at Northwestern, so you played in a big conference, right? What was Austin like? What was the atmosphere of Texas basketball like? What was the Moody Center like? I mean, that is like, Texas is a brand.
Yes,
you know? So, like, was that even higher than your days as an assistant of seeing something like that?
Yes. I had never seen anything like Texas. And I've been I mean, I played in the Big Ten,
Right.
you know, and probably the closest that I've seen to that is Michigan.
Yep.
Being able to go to Michigan, but being in Austin, like, it was the most amazing thing. I think what I loved the most about it is that everybody was so kind. Like, they knew that we were playing against Texas, and prior to the game, people were so excited about our story. So it had nothing to do with, oh, you're an opponent, like, we're gonna play you guys next. They were just like coming up to us, like, your story was so cool, like, congratulations, like, it's so cool that you guys are down here. And even after we played Texas, there were so many Texas fans that came up to me, our players, gave us hugs, congratulated us, told us that we had fans down in Austin moving forward. I mean, just that experience alone was unlike any experience I've ever had. Even, like, I know a couple of their assistant coaches, but Vic Schaefer was so kind. He was kind to our girls. He gave them such, like, words of encouragement and empowered them to continue to be great. It was, I mean, I didn't know what to expect, but it certainly wasn't what we got. I just was not expecting that.
So you talked about the advantages with recruiting, right? The team this season, to move on to the team this season. November 6th, season opener, Davidson, on the road. Did I read it right that you only have one senior?
Yes.
Is that not, like,
crazy?
why? Yeah.
Yes, actually. Actually, it's crazy.
That's, like,
Yes.
actually crazy.
It's actually crazy, especially in this environment of college athletics. Like, typically, I mean, my first year, I had 2 seniors that were 24.
Yeah.
You know, they were 6th-year seniors. My second year with Nyla Young, like, she was a 5th-year senior. I had young ladies that had graduated early and they were starting their master's programs. You know, last year I have 6 seniors. Like, now I have 1.
That's wild.
And I have 8 underclassmen.
Yeah.
And I want to pull my hair out every single day on one hand. On the other hand, I tell my freshmen all the time, like, this is your only chance to be young and dumb and reckless.
Yeah.
Like, play hard. Like, you're going to make a lot of mistakes, but you get to blame it on being a freshman, right? Like, so just go hard and have fun out there, and that'll make up for a lot of the mistakes that we're going to make. But yeah, it's going to be, last year was challenging in its own way. Every year I've been here has been challenging, and this is a challenge that I have not dealt with yet.
Yeah.
So we'll see. To be determined.
You know, that's a lot of onus as well to put on, you know, multiple players who were sophomores last year or incoming freshmen for that matter.
Yes.
So how have you seen the maturation of your younger talent as they're stepping into those upperclassmen roles of this is your team now?
Yeah, I think it's been a very smooth transition, honestly, and I think it's because I'm not asking a sophomore and a junior to bypass seniors.
Sure.
And a lot of times that happens. You might have a really good leader, she's a sophomore, but there are 4 or 5 seniors on the team, and you're like, you want me to tell them what to do? Like, they don't care, they're not listening, whatever. Whereas this year, there's 1 senior. Alexa's one of our captains, but the next people up are our junior class, right? So I think that they know that and they see it, and they also know what it takes to be successful now and the level of intensity and preparation and resilience that it takes to win, especially in this league. So it's been really good. And Natalie is now a sophomore, and she is leading, she's opening up her mouth to lead so much more because she knows exactly what to do now. And I think because she's taken that approach, her basketball has also risen, right? Like, I'm not thinking about myself anymore. I know what to do. And I mean, she's playing extraordinary right now. So just very, very happy with them and how they've matured.
So you said after Texas, right, that the standard had been established, right? These players can no longer take a step back. And I think that coaches always talk about the standard. Every step of the way they talk about the standard. But to have a clear identified standard after the Texas game, was that a different feeling of what a standard means versus what you had said the standard was previous to that?
Yes, but maybe not in the way that you think. what scared me about after Texas is that I felt like our players were putting so much pressure on themselves now to repeat. And that's not what got us a championship in the first place.
Right.
And so it was like cool to see their drive because they saw what was possible. But at the same time, it was like we didn't start out our season saying we're going to win a championship. We did start out the season saying you have to have a championship mindset in everything that you do, right? And so I'm going to approach getting to class like it's winning a championship, right? Like, you're not going to be skipping out on class. Don't be late. Like, don't make me blow a timeout because you started off poorly, right? Like, start off strong in the classroom. And we talked about that. Like, how can we have this mindset in everything we do? We said, how you do anything is how you do everything. And that is what got us to the dance, right? So to this summer and this fall was so different because we had to say, this is how we do things here. This is our culture. But the standard was already there. We were just trying to get them to not keep knocking at it and focus on what it was going to take to be better. How do you acclimate this new team, these new players into how we do things here? And then now that we've kind of gotten our culture and our core values and what's important to us and what we're not compromising on, now I can say this is the standard. Our championship mindset and all that we do and how we approach every practice. If I'm taking a shot, shoot it like it's for game in a
Right.
championship game. Don't just throw it up there. And I can finally do that. But in the beginning, I had to say, whoa, pump the brakes. Like, let's learn first, and then we'll get to that.
You hear all of this behind you as they're setting this up right now.
Mm-hmm.
You hear it, you see it. How amped are you seeing all of this set up to get out to the Kaplan Arena floor and actually start the season?
I am so excited. I mean, I literally see one of my players out here right now getting shots up with one of my coaches. I am so excited. I know practice is important, but like Allen Iverson said, we talk about practice. Like, you needed to prepare for games, but now games are coming up and I literally can't sleep. Not because I'm stressed. I'm just so excited that this time is finally coming. Watching exhibition games on TV has been so cool. I'm so excited. I'm excited for this team to be its own team, right? Like, not last year's team, not living in their shadows, but figuring out who this team is and how successful we can be and to continue to grow in what we're building here. So the countdown is on. 6 days, I think, right, Jackie?
I got two more for you. So I'm going to ask you the big picture question then. This time next year when I'm sitting back down with you in pretty much November of 2026, what is the dialogue around William & Mary women's basketball, that this specific team, not the team of last season, but this specific team, what is that dialogue going to be?
I hope you're saying watch out, because we'll be returning our entire team -1. This year is very important. Every game that we play is important, and we have a chance to be really good. But I also know that with this youth, if I can keep this team together, uplifted, empowered to be great, when we're sitting here next year and I have 6 seniors again who have played for me, right, for most of their careers, I hope that we're saying, watch out everybody, because here we come.
Last one. Coming into year 4, what have these past 3 years and change been like for Erin Dickerson Davis?
A whirlwind. Complete and utter overwhelm at every corner, every step of the way. I never knew what head coaches have to do. I literally called my former bosses and apologized to them because I had no idea all the things that they had to deal with, right? And it's the basketball, and you think that that's the most stressful part of the job, but it's like, no, I have to make sure that our community feels a part of what we do, that we're fundraising, that I'm giving these women an opportunity, like how can I get them involved on campus and giving back to the community and like all of these things. Like today we're having a Halloween practice and I was like, well, I don't want them to practice in their costumes, so we're gonna do Halloween yoga. Like
Halloween yoga?
Things you never thought that you would be thinking about.
Yeah.
Like we're about to start our season. We've been working hard. Like this practice today is not gonna make or break our game on November 6th, right? Like how can I get us in a great frame of mind and be stress-free and have fun and do some team bonding? And so like you just think about all of these things all the time. Like my brain is never turned off and my assistants are like, how do you balance? And I'm like, I don't. I'm married to this and my husband and my family, and it's all just one thing. And so I guess the best answer is just like complete overwhelm, but in the best way possible. Like it's because of all the support. It's because of the women we're able to recruit here. It's because of my staff and how they keep me sane and keep my calendar right and tell me what I need to do and what they need from me and what the players need from me. And I could not be happier. So overwhelmed, but also just pure joy.
Erin Dickerson Davis, head coach, William & Mary women's basketball. The Tribe opened their season November 6th against Davidson on the road. For your home opener, you're going to take a chance to just look at that before opening whistle one last time?
One last time.
Very good. For Coach E, I'm James Cantata. We will catch you on the next episode of Sportswrap Sit-Downs.